so this is what, like, because I know you took a break, didn't you? And you're talking a little bit about, so that seemed to me, like when I see it happening, like across, like to multiple people, like, that seems to be a certain sort of, a greater pattern, not necessarily just my individual one. And now there's like, whether that's the inhaler, the exhaler, whatever you want to say in the pattern, like the other thing seems to be coming, but I'm feeling like this, like inertia, like, I don't want to get out of bed.
I get it. I've been having this inertia. So I finished my book. Like I
Okay.
as far as I was going to take it. And then I sent it to my friend Robert Forti to edit for me. So he sent me back the edit, which had been sitting on my coffee table mocking me for like 2 weeks. And I have so much resistance to jumping back in because I know it will be an obsession again. And then I will be completely in its grips. And I'm like, I'm not ready. But I mean, I don't know if you get like that with your writing projects, but that's one of my primary frustrations about being a writer is how my projects will completely overtake me. And it's like, I just would like to be in the hot springs doing nothing.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I think if I were to articulate what it feels like internally, because it's the same behavior, right? Like neither of us want to go and do it. Like right now, and I think it's probably, I'm going to say the exact same thing you said, but in different words, is like, do I really want to like spend the energy to do that? Like, whereas there was once upon a time, like, I would like anytime an opportunity would present itself, like, all right, I'm down. Like, let's go. Let's see what this feels like. I'll ride this wave until there's the next one. And now I think I'm being a little bit more thoughtful, I guess, but that's where it is right now. But there's a desire. There's a desire to want to go back, but then exactly how I'm still like maybe I'm still on the sideline.
I'm still figuring out the how I want to come back to Instagram, and want, we're using that term really loosely anyway. But when I left Instagram, which was a very similar experience to when I pulled all my videos off of YouTube a couple of years ago, is that my business tanked, like straight up.
Right.
And there wasn't like, I didn't find the workaround. So I haven't come back to like posting daily. I'm not in that. I'm still in the, like, I'm not sure how I want to do this, but I've certainly dipped my toe back in.
Yeah. Well, first off, I appreciate the idea of like wanting to sometimes just take it all. Like, it's like, all right, I want to just take it all back.
Right.
And then I'm like, I've already put it out there. Like, and
Right.
but I know that I know that feeling. It's also interesting because like, there's as perspectives change, undoubtedly you grow or you look at things from a different level. It's like you think about something from 4 years ago, but like, well, I don't know if I actually would say that today. But and then like getting okay with that, like being out there, like, all right, well, that's what I said like 4 years ago. So that is definitely true for me. But the second part, what was the second thing you said? I went, oh, the business tanking. So without a doubt, like that happens. That's what happens. And this is where I sit with that, because that's a truth. There's a truth to that, but then it also points to a bigger truth. And this is where, for me, the rubber really meets the road. And it's a demonstrative proof that social media, the internet, the technological interconnection of all things through military-industrial complex is tied hand in hand to the idea that you need money to support yourself, like, all of that sort of thing. And because they're saying, if you do this, it works. Here's your pellets. And then you're like, well, there's a truth to the fact that, like, I can't just say, like, can I pay you in I can't go to a place which doesn't want to participate in my barter economy. And
Totally.
so it's like, there's a truth there. And then there's also like, do I really want to feed it? Where's my integrity line? And so like that's another place which for me, that this conversation right now is also one of the reasons why I'm still on the sideline, because to be more specific, I'm about to go on the road and do like this kind of like mini tour, and I'm going to be selling starboards.
Awesome.
And I'm like coming down to this idea. I'm like, I don't have a card reader, and I don't want a card reader. And what am I going to do? Like, I can have like workarounds, and I'm like, do I really want to do the workaround? Like I'm like balancing all of these sort of questions, and like, you know, where am I going to be pragmatic, and where am I going to be, you know, of principle?
Totally.
And that's a real grown-up conversation with oneself.
Big time. And I'm happy that we get to have that conversation, because I feel like my integrity has really more so gotten in the way than, like, it might serve me in terms of like moment to moment, I can live with myself and I feel good. But when I look at my career path, it really hasn't served me, like, across the board. And I look at, you know, I started my first revolution in 4th grade. And for every revolution I've started, I'm always like, and you're with me, right? And I'm always standing alone, always. And so it's like, you know, I got myself kicked out of my class and my school because of my holy integrity, but like no one came along and nothing changed. And so when I took all my videos off of YouTube, when they changed their user agreement a couple of years ago, no one came with me. BitChute sucks, Odyssey like they all suck. And I just watched my business completely tank. And the same thing happened with Instagram. And I'm noticing like I can actually affect more change by playing the game and using the tools in the game to get my message out than removing myself from the game and being invisible / more invisible than I already feel like I am.
I mean, these to me are like next level questions, like next level of like, okay, I've climbed up to this level. Now let me go and say, okay, now I got to face like how I'm going to go and meet culture, and particularly for a person who is both within and critic of and all of that sort of stuff of culture. So these are and there's no easy answer.
There really isn't an easy answer.
Yeah.
Like, I think at the end of the day, and you and I are probably in agreement on this, we have to be able to live with ourselves and feel good with ourselves.
Right.
So knowing
And
that
whether that means like being okay with being like a drifter under a bridge, or being okay with the fact, like, you know, either way you gotta, and yeah.
And it's not like linear, it's not logical, it changes moment to moment. So it's also just being nimble, you know, like, but I was embarrassed to come back to Instagram because I was like, I made this big announcement and now I'm a big like squelcher liar, you know. So then I was looking at, well, now that's my ego that's preventing me from coming back when I know that's what I need to do. So it's all these like
right like it's all the different perspectives, and you just find yourself like, okay, now I just got to breathe and just forget the whole friggin' thing, and just like, what's the next right step?
Totally.